Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel. I'm a speech language pathologist turned homeschool mom to two boys, a first grader and a pre-Ker. And in today's video we are going to be talking about all the things we got up to in the month of February. Let's get going. I don't know about you, but February, it's been dreary. I just want winter to be over and spring to get here, and it's just been one of those months where I'm glad it's now over. Like we got a lot done, and a lot accomplished, but whew, I'm glad it's gonna be March. I'm glad about that, and that spring is almost around the corner. I'm very thankful for that. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my first graders' core subjects, my pre-Kers core subjects, and family subjects, and any life updates, anything like that. So going right into my first graders' core subjects, we start with math. My child is doing Singapore Dimensions math. We were doing 1A, and this month we also returned back to 1B. So we were doing 1B back, I think we stopped this in December, I believe. And we stopped it because it was the subtraction to 40 that he was just having difficulty with. So I was like, you know what, we're just gonna go to 1B and do 1B until we get to complete subtraction within 20. Now, the thing about math curriculum is they can test into one level, but they really need the level before. So I mean, testing on math was so difficult for us to pinpoint exactly what level he needed. I really should have just started him with level 1A, but you live and you learn, because you think he tests into one level and then he needed the level before, just as a refresher for repetition. Just because you know a concept doesn't mean that you also don't need practice. So I think that was the case for him. So in the month of February, we completed up to chapter 7, and then chapter 8 is shape. So I was like, oh, we can come back to this. I really want to just focus on addition and subtraction from where we left off in 1B. And I will tell you, the workbook, him doing the workbook on his own has gained him such good confidence in math. So before, we didn't have a desk up in the playroom, but we transitioned my desk to now his desk, and that is working so well for his little independent mind to think and problem solve without having the distractions of little brother. So he was doing this workbook by himself and gaining such good confidence. So really happy with his progress in math. We picked up 1B again. So we picked up at chapter 14, grouping and sharing, and he did great. I think the extra practice he received from the 1A refresher really allowed him to understand these concepts. So I feel good now about him going on in 1B. And so my plan is to complete 1B and then go probably in the summertime, finish up 1A. After math, my child does language arts, and we are using the Good and the Beautiful level 1. The last lesson he did was lesson 96, so we are doing 4 lessons a week, and we are going to be finishing this curriculum very, very soon. It's crazy that he's on 96 out of 120, and I do not have anything negative to say about this curriculum. This gets the job done for his language arts skills, and his reading abilities are just progressing slow and steadily. I love this curriculum. The only thing that we are doing different than what this curriculum says is we've completed the Booster B books and the booster cards. So as a starting activity, because it has that first little checkbox is complete the booster books and the booster cards or play the games. So I thought it would be fun to have him practice more writing. So I am giving him a question a day in his little notebook, and then he gets to write me an answer. For example, our question the other day was, what is your favorite animal? And then he has to write in a complete sentence his answer. So my favorite animal is a dog. So I really like this idea of having to ask him a question every day just to help with his writing. That capital letter at the beginning, that period at the end of the sentences, and just helping him with his spelling abilities and his written expression skills. So those are my core subjects for my first grader. Now for my pre-Ker, he has made such good progress, and we've actually completed some curriculum. So let me show you what we've completed. So my little guy completed Singapore Dimensions PKA, and now he is on to PKB. He is making great progress with his math skills. I love this curriculum. I'm gonna be doing a review on it if it has not even yet come out yet. It might be, I don't remember where in the lineup I have these videos scheduled. In the month of February, he completed Chapter 7, Numbers to 10, Part 2. The only thing I will say negative about this curriculum is that at the very end, it got very repetitive with the numbers of learning about 0 to 10. It got very repetitive, but I mean, for a pre-Ker, they need that repetition, but for my little guy, even for him, it was too repetitive. I love this curriculum. It took less than 10 minutes a day, and this teacher manual has just so many great centers that you can set up for your child. I mean, I barely even grazed what this curriculum had to offer in terms of centers. Love PKA, and now we are on to Singapore Dimensions PKB, and he has started in this curriculum this Chapter 8, Ordinal Numbers, and then we just started the other day Shapes and Solids. And like I said, I have nothing negative to say about this curriculum. It's fantastic. It is so hands-on for my little guy. And yes, it takes some setup, but it's worth it. Moving on to my pre-Ker's language arts curriculum. Again, another one that we completed is In the Forest by Gather Around. This is their letters and numbers level 1. So it taught him lots of letters. We're gonna be moving on to I think At the Farm is next, this taught half the alphabet up to M, and then At the Farm will teach N through Z. So we're not using this for the numbers aspect. Obviously, we're using Singapore Dimensions. We're using this for his learning phonics skills, and I am like really drilling those phonics skills. And also this teaches nice life lessons and also animals. So yes, he completed this, and we are moving on to the next level of this. And I will be doing a review on this curriculum because there are some positives, some negatives, and just some everything else in between that I would like to chat about. Moving on to family subjects, let's start first with my favorite subject to teach and learn about, science. We are using Blossom and Roots, Wonders of the Earth and Sky. We finished up Wonder 2, which was Layers of the Earth. Then we did Wonder 3, which was Ever Moving Plates. Then we did Wonder 4, which was Mountains and Rifts. And we just completed today Wonder 5, which was Earthquakes. So for Wonders of the Earth and Sky, the main spine is this guy, Super Earth. And there are some great, beautiful illustrations. Let's find, okay, so this was one of the lessons we learned about layered earth, dynamic earth, spreading rifts, collision zones, and today we did earthquakes. So just beautiful, beautiful illustrations in this book. Another of the spines is Nature Anatomy by Julia Rothman. So those are the main spines, and we learn so much. It also has great video recommendations and also science experiments. It has a whole science lab section, which is fantastic. Basically on Fun Fridays, we do science curriculum, and we do try to incorporate as many videos as we can and at least one of the lab recommendations. Like today we did the Jello earthquake experiment, and the week before we did the messy tectonic plate experiment, which was really fun taking, oh gosh, what was it? Was it cream cheese icing and graham crackers and like moving the plates, like moving so the graham crackers were the tectonic plates and the cream cheese frosting was the mantle, and like moving the tectonic plates. That was really fun. And then they got to have a snack afterwards. So it's a win-win. Science experiment and snack. Very fun. So to go along with the science spines, the videos, the science experiment, there are also great read alouds that are listed. So we got to read Thunder Underground, which is a book all about poems, about things that are happening underground, whether they be earthquakes or volcanoes or even the subway. Some beautiful poetry in this. We also read Planet Earth Inside Out, great scientific read aloud picture book. And then this one, Solving the Puzzle Under the Sea this was Marie Tharp Maps the Ocean. This book is basically the biography of Marie Tharp, she is a scientist who helped to map the ocean floor and basically helped to prove the theory that tectonic plates are slowly moving. And this was a fantastic book. Loved it. Chock full of information that I had no idea about. The next subject I'm going to be talking about is social studies. We are using Beautiful Feet Books Around the World with Picture Books Part 2, and we are on the country of Sweden. And Sweden, we did the maps of Sweden for that first lesson. We made the food, which we made the meatballs and the mashed potatoes and the gravy, which my boys did not like. I think my pre-K-er enjoyed the meatballs, but man, my children were like, they did not like it at all. My first grader thought the meatballs were too spicy, and no one ate the mashed potatoes except my husband and myself. My husband and myself, we loved the meal, but my boys were not about the Swedish cuisine this time for whatever reason. Now, the read alouds, I think, were the star of the show this week, or this month, I should say. And I think the main star of the show was Pippi Longstocking. We had the audiobook version in the car, and then for some reason the third CD of it was like all scratched so I returned it to the library and told the library about it, which was a bummer. So I picked this up, the hardcover instead, and I read the last 3 chapters, and this is just pure silliness, like complete pure silliness. And I will say, when I personally was reading it, I edited a lot of the book because it is a bit, dare I say, a little racist at some point. So I personally edited as I read. And I also have heard that this author, she's a very controversial author for what I just said. The other 2 read alouds we did for Sweden were very fitting for Sweden, like forests and nature of Sweden. Children of the Forest, a little family of little magical people living in the forest with their forest friends and living through a whole year and getting to see the seasons. And then this one, Carl Get Out of the Garden, and I don't want to butcher his name, but Carlos Linnaeus and the Naming of Everything. And this book was, I think, the main book offered in this curriculum, and it had some great Socratic questions to go along with it. This was a longer picture book, I will say, but the illustrations were beautiful. Completely beautiful illustrations. I mean, it's in the title of the curriculum, Beautiful Feet Books. It's beautiful illustrations. So that's what we learned about in Sweden. Oh, and we also learned about the animals of Sweden. And I do not remember them off the top of my head, but I think they were the Arctic fox and some other Arctic animals, which I can't think of off the top of my head. And of course it bugged me that I couldn't remember the names of the animals. It was the bull moose, the Arctic fox, the walrus, and the wolverine. So, and I picked some YouTube videos for each of those animals, and that was, my kids always loved the YouTube videos for the animals. For Spanish, we are using Beautiful Mundo. My pre-K'er is doing the letras y animales, and my first grader is doing the phonics workbook, the letras y sonidos. And again, we're doing workbooks. I know it is not the most natural way to learn Spanish, but it is what we can do at this time in our lives. And we are doing about a page, 2 pages, 3 pages every week. And we're getting the job done, and my kids are learning Spanish words, which is fantastic. Better a little than nothing, right? And for Bible, I say this every time, we're using the Children's Story Bible, and we are also using the Charlotte Mason method of scripture memorization, which is working really well for us. It's so cool to see their little minds like remember verses from weeks ago. So cool. And I think the only other piece of literature we finished was the Hardy Boys book 1, The Tower Treasure. My pre-K'er absolutely loved this book. It took us a few months to get through, but we finally finished it, and it was a great first Hardy Boys read, so very happy with that. Now, the first thing we started on February 1st was a field trip to a museum, a science museum, and the boys had so much fun. We've been there, I think, twice, and every time they want to go to the same exact exhibits and do the same exact thing, which is fantastic. This time around, they had a completely different exhibit hall open that the boys loved, seeing all the different animals, and my first grader was like taking pictures of everything. It was really fun. Now for us here in February, we are only schooling 3 weeks out of February because we're taking a full winter break. We're taking a week off. We are taking a week off of much needed school time. We are going on a family vacation up to the mountains, and we are gonna have a great time skiing, hopefully. My children are gonna take ski lessons for the first time. We're gonna go to a snow park. We're gonna go to a museum. It's gonna be hopefully a great family vacation. And I think while you're watching this, I think we're gonna be still on that vacation. So hopefully it went very well for us. But that's gonna wrap up how we end February, and overall it was a great month. But like I said in the beginning, I am like done with this winter. I want the kids like outside playing more rather than, you know, the dreariness. It wasn't too dreary, but I'm just like, I want outside time. I want warmer weather, like for sure. So before I end this video, I will do a book update. So I am reading Lessons in Chemistry, and this book is about a scientist in the 1960s who, it was hard to be a woman scientist back then, for sure. And she is one smart cookie, and it is showing her struggles, her accomplishments through her life. And it's a story also about love. So I am a little way into it. I will say there was one scene that showed some violence that I was like, nope, skipping this part. I don't want that in my mind. So I will say that if there's any more parts like that, I will just be like skipping over those parts, because I personally don't like reading about that stuff. But yeah, it's intrigued me so far. I'm on chapter 5, so I'm only 33 pages into it, but enjoying this so far. And I will keep you updated if I finish it in one of my videos. Well, I think that is everything for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end of this video. And if you're still watching, please let me know in the comments what you have gotten up to in the month of February. And if you are having the winter blues like we did, did you get a break like we're getting to have? Like, tell me about your February. Did you power through it? I mean, good, kudos to you if you did that. I did not. I needed this break. But yeah, let me know in the comments how your February went. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a fantastic day.